Hi guys, welcome to Sarah and Sarge. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe.
Welcome again to Street Perspective TV, and today we be covering 10 keys of success. Obviously, success is a huge. Those are like the most 10 keys. You may have more than 10, but these are like the most important keys that we found, and we have been using them, and we wanted to share with you guys.
These aren't the only 10 keys of success. Obviously, there's plenty more, but we just wanted to highlight these. They're very important. As we go over them, some may seem like they're the same, but they are clearly different, just close in nature. But we have to keep in mind, we live in a get quick everything. Whether it's lose 20 pounds in 5 minutes, or become a billionaire overnight, quit drugs in 2 minutes, like everything, it's got to be quick today. Those are obviously
misleading.
They're misleading. Yeah. They could be deceitful, empty promises that lead to frustration and failure oftentimes. So the truth is, there are no shortcuts to maintaining something long term.
Yes.
It takes 30 days to develop a habit.
Yeah.
If you do anything before you develop any habit, any success you have is likely going to
lose it again.
Be lost even quicker.
Yeah.
So the good news is we're going to share with you 10 keys to success. It is your job to find the locks to the keys that we give you.
Exactly. Basically, we have the keys. That success is not something we pick on the street or something. It is there, but we work for it. And we have the keys, we have the lock. All we have to do is to unlock. And we're going to give you the keys that is already in you. All you have to do is just like grab them and unlock it and develop those habits you haven't developed. Otherwise, you are very equipped to make it in life.
And you've probably heard these probably in one way or another, different way of saying it.
Yes.
But let's just get to it. The first one is set clear goals. Right?
Yes.
This is so important. So many of us don't set goals for ourselves. We even have a vision, but we don't set goals on how to achieve that vision.
So what do you mean when you say set clear goals? What is if I say I want to lose 20 pounds, is not that clear enough?
No.
I'm asking because sometimes we have these general goals in our mind.
Yeah.
I want to be this, I want to do that, and there's no clear way to get there. Basically, when we said clear goals, is like, you know what you want. You have to have deadline for each goal you are setting, and you have to have plans, which also can be called the steps of how you're going to achieve that. There's a saying that when you have a goals without plans, it's a wish, because we all always wish to be something, but because it's a goal in your mind, but you never really set it clear goals, clear steps and plans how to get there, it will always be there and dies in you.
Right. So when you're setting goals, the goal is to write them as clear and specific as possible. Right. So that would be what it's mean to write clear goals. You have to be specific in your goals. The clearer your goals are, the more likely you'll stay motivated to achieve those goals.
Yeah, one thing I know that when you have a goal, it's kind of like it keeps you focused. It also keeps you like accountable, because when you go back and look, you can easily say like, oh, I'm not achieving this. What am I doing wrong? So having clear goals, really, it keeps you going. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't even evaluate your success or your failure if you didn't have a way to go to begin with, you know.
And many people, I believe, they walk around with the idea of what they want to do, but they don't have goals on how to get there.
Another mistake we do, sometimes we set clear goals, like let's say I want to be debt free within 1 year.
Right.
And you sit down, I'm going to maybe cut down some spendings and cut this and that. You write them down, it sounds good, but then we don't review it, because sometimes when you don't review, you think like, even though you said I'm gonna cut down this, but one thing doesn't really hurt. But once you set your goals, they are clear as possible, and you have your steps together, you have to review them on a daily basis to see
Yeah.
what if you're doing them right, because sometimes the plans can change. But if you know where you are going, but reviewing it every day or on daily basis, it keeps you kind of like accountable to know that, okay, I'm in the right track or I'm not getting there. Then it can give you a time to sit back and then change plans before it's too late, before you reach your set date and you haven't been there.
Yeah, and another important thing, it keeps you focused,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a measure to know where you are.
Exactly.
Like it's a way to judge yourself
Mm-hmm.
on to how far you should be at this point or where you are.
And
And
where you want.
also,
Mm-hmm.
having goals gives you a sense of accomplishment, which is very important for encouragement.
Yeah, because sometimes we have like a long-term goals, big goals, and when we don't evaluate and see the small steps we have accomplished, we think that you're not
Yeah.
achieving anything. But remember, goals can be short-term, long-term, and medium, or whatever you may call it. But if you achieve small goals and you evaluate yourself, you review it, and you see like, okay, I have achieved this. Maybe I paid down already $1,000, and you want to pay $20,000. But when you celebrate the small things, it keeps you going. As my husband was saying, it keeps you like motivated, because you're seeing like, oh, if I can do this, then I can do the next step. But if we mainly focus on the bigger picture and forget to appreciate yourself and really celebrate yourself once you achieve any milestone, that is very important also when you set a goal.
Yeah, I remember I write lists down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not goals, but just lists, to-do lists, basically.
Yes.
And sometimes I would get discouraged like years ago, and I would say, man, what have I done? And then
Mm-hmm.
I'd find this to-do list, and everything that's on it, I've
Checked.
done it.
Exactly. You feel like a satisfied, and
Yeah.
you want to like keep going. Yeah.
So even when I felt discouraged, just the fact that that list was there and I did those things made me feel good.
Because the last point I want to make before we move probably next to the next key, also when you write your goal, you should put them somewhere visual that you can see, like when you wake up or before you go to bed. Because sometimes when you write them in your book or on the computer, that you're not going to check them, sometimes we tend to forget or not really be on them as much as we can. But when you have them somewhere, when you wake up, that's the first thing that is staring in your face. When you go to bed, that's something that is staring on your face.
Yeah.
It keeps you going, because they are there staring back at you. But if you put them, because I remember I used to write stuff in my like a journal or something, and I never check them. Sometimes when I go back and I grab the book, I'm like, oh my gosh, I said I was gonna do that. You tend to forget them if you don't really see them. So it's really good
review
to
them daily.
just put them somewhere.
It gets into your subconscious mind if you just look at them daily.
Yeah.
So just to simplify it, let us give you an example. As you were saying, the goals to be debt free.
Mm-hmm.
Your goals will then have steps of action to accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
So goals are important because they give you a broad idea.
Yeah.
But your steps of action to reach that goal will actually become like your daily list.
Yes.
Like to be debt free. Right?
Yep.
So what's the first thing you need to do? You obviously got to pull your credit, locate all your debts.
Yep. You need to know your income.
Yeah, you got to know your income. You got to do a budget, all that stuff.
Those will be expenses, and then because when you do expenses, then you can see where you need to cut down, and then start like attacking
So your goal will be to
be debt free.
And your tasks are what get you to that goal.
Yes.
And those are basically your they make up your daily tasks.
You mentioned something very important that I really like, that sometimes when we think of something, but it's really not sync in our subconscious or in our psyche, it doesn't work, because really most of the time for things to work, you have really, it has to be there in your mind, in your subconscious, and it start like living that dream before even you get there. But sometimes we say stuff by saying it, but it's, we don't mean it. I think like when you say something and you don't mean it, you don't work for it. But once it's there, it motivates you, it gets into you, and it becomes your life, and you feel like I have to get there.
A very important step is what she mentioned a little earlier. Create a vision board for yourself. And that's what helps you focus to stay on track. Your vision board essentially becomes your motivation. You have to see it in order to be motivated. The clearer it is, the clearer you're able to see it. The more you're able to see it, the more you're able to push for it. If it's something that's not visible to you, you're not going to.
No, it's going to be the wish, you know, as I said.
Exactly.
I didn't say that quote, but somebody said when you have a goals and you don't have plans or steps to get there, it is just a wish, and wish, it doesn't come true all the time, you know.
Vision board is so important. We're going to do a separate video on that, because there's so much to say about that. But just for this video, we're going to keep it moving. So obviously setting clear goals is time consuming.
Yes.
Right? And it takes a lot of soul searching. Right? We're not talking about just goals, you know, like
I want to be rich.
Yeah.
Because everybody
that's not a specific goal. And that's, many people think they have a goal by saying I want to get rich.
Yeah.
But how do you want to get rich?
And then how rich you even want to be. Because being rich, what is, you know, it can mean different things for different people. But as he said, to really set a goals, knowing your dreams, knowing that thing that keeps you up. What do you want to achieve in your life? Who do you want to become? And then once you really know that, and then it's easy.
Like I said, it is time consuming, and it takes a lot of digging deep within yourself. I remember when I was a squad leader in the Army, right?
Oh, you never shared that with me?
Yeah. So we would meet with the chain of command every night, and then I would write down what to do the following day. It would obviously change, but they gave us a general idea. So when I woke up, I knew exactly what to do. No one had to tell me nothing. I had the day planned.
There's another story, a very important story you shared with me when you were in the military, that sometimes we wake you up early and tell you to run without like any specific way to go and no clear direction. You run there, you get tired, you feel like you did not accomplish anything, which is different from if they tell you we are going to run 3 miles. We are going to run from point A to B. You are motivated, you know your goal, you know your destination, so you run toward the destination. But if they just tell you to run, you're like, wait, what am I going?
When we used to do runs for PT, physical training, sometimes they would tell us, okay, we're doing 3 miles today. We're going to run to this location and back. Then other times you had no idea where you were going. So when you know where you were going, you were motivated.
Exactly.
Right?
You become competitive. You know where to go.
But when you don't know, you don't know how long it is. You don't know anything. So you're just really, like, man, how long am I going to do this?
It's energy draining, because...
And it can end up being the exact same distance. But one you know, the other you don't.
You don't.
Right? So our time is the most valuable commodity we have. In this life. So setting your goals is ultimately putting the most value in the time that you have.
Because Americans, we're used to this saying like time is money, but to me time is life, because really, as you say, that's the most important thing you have. When you waste it, you cannot get it back. So it's really good to start good, because sometimes we face setbacks, you know, and even though you may have a clear goals, doesn't mean you may face some setbacks, you may fail. It's part of learning. But when you set up yourself good from the beginning, it's
Exactly.
easy to bounce back when you when you face setbacks. But when you don't know where to go, as you said, how can you even evaluate yourself? How can you even know that, I have lived my life in fullest if you
Yeah,
didn't know what you really wanted to
exactly.
be in this life?
So that's it for today's video. We're gonna do them step by step.
Mm-hmm.
It's already 16 minutes,
Mm-hmm. And we don't want
and
to rush
yeah,
through.
we don't want to rush through. We want to take our time. So at the end of this, it'll be one big video that you guys can watch at once, or you can. They'll also be divided up into each point.
Exactly. So you can maximize
Yeah.
whatever. Sometimes some of these you may have, others you may really want to develop them. So that's where we really want to focus on each point or each key so that, you can sit back and go back and listen to it and, plan accordingly.
So we're shooting them all today. So if we're wearing the same thing, just know it's not the next day. We're not.
Yeah, probably 5 of them today.
Yeah. So we'll see you next video.
Thank
Love
you.
you. Bye.